don't be afraid of quantum computing. I think that is such great advice. When I have when I first started with machine learning, I was like, do I really want to go anywhere near that? It just seems like it's a lot of math, and turns out I have more than enough math. My career history has really prepared me for machine learning. I mean, I things I studied like machine image processing, which are just convolutions in
Mhm.
neural nets and stuff. So, and now I'm immersing myself in the quantum mechanics, mathematics, and I have just enough calculus to understand quite a bit of it. Um, my focus is going to be on quantum machine learning. That seems to be a field that's exploding. And my other interest is in software development tool chains for the future, because quantum, I tell people this all the time. I think the hardware is something's going to happen in the hardware. A switch is going to, a tipping point is going to happen, and then the hardware is going to outstrip what we have in software. This has happened in history before. It's still to some extent happening with GPUs right now. NVIDIA is building a GPU that they are having difficulty finding ways to keep it busy enough.
Huh.
There's so much performance that they've had to restructure all kinds of stuff just to get at the performance. And I think quantum might have similar problems. So my background also includes a bit of compiler development. So I have this interest in tool chains. But again, these are support level. These aren't, right at the quantum level. These are stuff that are leading up to it. If you've got a team of PhDs, are they going to write all the software, or are they going to run a team of software developers? So again, are you seeing those requests currently?
Yes, yes. I think I haven't seen your CV, but for what you're saying, Ron, I think you have a perfect background to fit into a lot of openings right now, because not everyone is going to be sitting down and writing the algorithms. We need all kind of skills and position from the end-to-end process for quantum computing. And as you said, yes, we need to create algorithms, because once we have a quantum computer, we need to be sure that we are going to use them. But right now, it's a lot about support and even control systems for quantum computers. So there are companies that are working at all levels from the stack, and they need people that can work at these levels, and PhDs cannot work at all levels of the stack. So think about that. So your skill set is kind of a perfect match for some of these levels that a PhD in quantum is not gonna be a fit at all.
Great, thank you for that feedback.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, Ron. Hardware outstripping software. Anybody else? Dan, or that we haven't heard from yet? I see Lon's on. And feel free to come on again, Kathleen or Tim. So what we were going to talk about is Quantum Latino. So it's the second one, right? Like last year was the first, right? And it was a big thing. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, a little bit of history. So I'm telling you that was before the pandemic, that I was talking to the guys in Uruguay, and it's like, we need to do something. And so I'm from Spain. I'm not from Latin America, but I realized that I wanted to do something more on that gray regions. That's because we started with that map, and you see clearly those gray areas. And I talked to the people in Uruguay and said, let's do something. We wanted to do something in person, and then the pandemic hit and we couldn't. So we decided to do something virtual. We had more than 1,000 people joining to the event, plus another 1,000 students from schools on an outreach event that I'm very proud of, because it was really cool to see that people, we did it in Spanish and in Portuguese, that students, they could learn a little more about physics. But the event itself, what we do is the first day is academic. So anyone is more in the fundamental science, that's the first day of the event. The second day is more government policy, industry, more the other side of what is happening in this ecosystem. And the third day is a little bit mixed, different kind of hands-on workshops and things like that. The event itself is pretty much English, Spanish, bilingual, depends on the session. But the second day is much more in English, because we have our sponsors will present what they are doing. So it worked really, really well, because it was the first time that people that they were close in geographically speaking, but they really never talked to each other.